What's up, party people? This is Jude Mossberg from Facebook, Jude's Junk Facebook comp shop and YouTube channel. And I wanted to give you a CGC hack. We have seen everybody complain about the grades they get back. And what I've found, and I'll usually send in a few books for a signing, and I usually send in a 9.8s, and they have to crack them. And for me, that's like my best chance to get a 9.8. I don't want to buy a raw and end up with a bunch of 9.6s. I'd rather just buy the 9.8, and it really improves my chances of getting 9.8 signed books, because those are the ones people want. If they want the signatures, they want the 9.8s, and 9.6s just don't seem to sell very well, the signed yellow label ones. So I've been doing this for a couple of years, sending in hundreds of 9.8s into the signature series. And what I find is there's usually a grouping. Like for the most part, 6 to Claremont, 6 to Jim Lee, 8, 5, and they all come back 9.8s very often, because not only do I send only 9.8s and have them crack it, I used to send it all to a presser and have him crack it, press it, and then send it in. Well, for the moderns, 80s and above, I think if it's already a 9.8, I think the pressing that they have there is good enough. I also think that my presser, between cracking, pressing, packing, and shipping, that could have gotten one little tick so that by the time it gets to CGC, it becomes a 9.6 or worse. And so I no longer will send it off unless it's a raw book, and maybe an older Silver Age or something. So I also noticed that if you send it into CGC and they crack it and they see it was a 9.8, I don't have any proof of this, but I think they know, hey, we've already graded this a 9.8 once. Let's see if our pressers come back and graded 9.8 again. And I have a feeling that I could be totally wrong on this, so who knows. I have a feeling that they say, okay, we're getting a 9.6. They say, hey, is it really different? Maybe they can put a second pair of eyes on it. They say that there's 3 pairs of eyes in every book. I don't buy that at all, because I've seen, for example, that's not the case. So I just send in a 9.8. I have them crack it, and what I've found that extra $5 for a cracking, an extra $5 for a bag, I don't think they've been charging me that for 2 years. So they say they can do it, but I don't think they do it, because I don't know if they purposefully don't charge it or if it's a mistake, but I've noticed on my invoices that I've been looking closely that I don't get that upcharge. So you're going to save yourself. Whereas my presser was charging me 10 to crack, 5 to crack, and 5 for a bag. So I was paying an extra $10, paying him 15, 20 to press it. So that's 30 plus the shipping there and back. There's an extra 40. So I'm saving about $40 per book by sending them straight in to CGC. Now, you send in 3, 4, 5 books. Some people say if they get 4 books, maybe they compare them all, and they don't want them all to get 9.8s if one looks a little off. Whereas if you sent in just one, they can't compare it, and so they're more likely to get a 9.8. May or may not be true. But I've had it turn out where I've sent in 3, 4, 5 books, and a majority do not come back 9.8. I just sent in 6 to Claremont, 9.8s across the board. 3 came back 9.2, 9.6, and 9.6. And this has happened before, where like 3 of them come back less than a 9.8. So what I do is I write a letter, and this is the trick that I wanted to share with you. It's not really a trick, but you may not know that you can do this. You don't need to get online and complain. This probably works for blue labels as well. But I usually write it in a letter and say, hey, I sent in 3 9.8s. I sent in 6 9.8s. 3 of them came back 9.2, 9.6, 9.6. I think that there was something wrong with your process. I think someone made a judgment and error. Will you please review these books in your cameras to see if an error was made or if someone dropped them? And they say, certainly. They sent and have me do an ME. I sent it back for free. They don't communicate with me. They just regraded, I think. Because if they found something in their videos, they've never told me that. But what I just found out today, the results I just got back today, I will share with you, are similar to results I've gotten back over the last couple of years. I send in, some books that came back really low, and they send me back books that are higher grades. So, and they don't explain it, no notes. I don't know if they made an error, if they dropped it. I don't know if they just regraded it with a new grader, and that's what the new grader gives, and I think that's the case. I don't think they have this long, involved process where they go back and review hours and hours of video coverage to see if someone, messed up a $10 raw book, which some of these books might be. So I sent it a 9.2. The 9.2, New Mutants Annual 2, signed by Claremont. I sent in a 9.8, came back a 9.2. I was really bummed. $600 book at the time. Came back a 9.2. I just got the results. They're giving it a 9.6. No explanation. I just sent it back for free. They send me back the books. It's regraded to 9.6. So I got the bump from the 9.2 to 9.6 on them, free of charge, just because I mailed it back, sent an email in advance, and they're probably just regrading it. The other one, it was an Uncanny X-Men 221. It came back originally a 9.6, and I was pretty bummed. This one now, they bumped it to a 9.8, so they regraded it, and it got a 9.8. The Uncanny X-Men 244, which is my big one, newsstand, I sent it a 9.8. It came back a 9.6, and it stayed a 9.6. So, am I thrilled that two of them dropped from 9.8 to 9.6? No. But I am thrilled that by mailing it back for free, they gave 2 bumps to 1. So whoever graded that a 9.2 really blew it. And then one of the 9.6s went back up to a 9.8. So it was worth it. It was worth it to do the email, to send it back on their dime, wait a few weeks. It's an urgent process because it's an ME. So it's been processed basically in the last 3 weeks that they've got it. So I wanted to give this hack to you that if you get books back, just send them an email, be polite, don't complain. Say, hey, I think there was something wrong in the process. I think maybe they got dropped. I think maybe there was some subjective error because these were sent in as 9.8s. Now, if you send in a raw, you can't make that claim, but I send in books and they crack them and they can see that they cracked a 9.8. So they're just regrading them and sending them back. And this is not the first time this has happened, where I've sent 3 in that all had much lower grades. So my guess is that one grader, he was harsh that day because most of them I send in 6 9.8s, I get back 6 9.8s. 8 9.8s, I get back 8 9.8s because I actually pre-screen them before I mail them in. So this was just one harsh grader. He had probably 2 books that he didn't grade correctly. They regraded it, came up with new grades, and that's probably, hopefully, on his record. Maybe they'll talk to him, maybe they'll increase his skills. So it might help CGC grade better by you sending it back. It might help them train that worker so that he grades better in the future and not so harsh. Anyways, use the hack. Let me know if it works because it's been working for me. Happy hunting, guys.